Alex stood at the edge of the grand hall, his heart beating fast. The palace of Virilia was more magnificent than anything he had ever seen. Tall, shining pillars stretched up to the sky, and the walls were decorated with glowing crystals that changed colors slowly. The air smelled sweet, like flowers he had never smelled before. All around him, people in strange, colorful clothes whispered and stared. Alex was a human, a diplomat sent from Earth to make friends with the alien planet Virilia. His job was to talk and learn about the Virilians, a proud and old civilization. But today was different. Today, something unexpected was about to happen. The crowd grew silent as a tall woman walked in. She had long silver hair that shone like the palace crystals and eyes that looked deep and bright like stars. She was the princess of Virilia, Leora. The people bowed low when she appeared, but she looked straight at Alex with a smile. "Alex," she said in a soft voice, but full of power, "I have chosen you." Alex's mouth went dry. "Chosen me? For what?" he asked carefully. "To be my consort," Leora said simply. "You will marry me." The room gasped. Alex blinked, trying to understand. Marry a princess from a different planet. It sounded like a story from a book, but this was real. He looked at Leora. She was calm and serious. "Why me?" he asked. "Because you are human," she said. "You are different, strong. You will help bring peace between our worlds." Alex thought about Earth and Virilia, two planets so far apart, yet now joined by this moment. "This is a great honor," he said slowly, "but it is also a great responsibility." Leora nodded. "Yes, it is, and it will change your life." Suddenly, the doors behind Leora opened. Another woman stepped inside. She was younger, with bright green eyes and dark hair braided like the rivers of Virilia. Her gaze was fierce, and she did not bow. "I am Silara," she said loudly, "Leora's sister, and if you marry her, you must also marry me." Alex stared. The room fell into shocked silence. He did not know what to say. Silara stepped closer, her eyes never leaving his. "It is the law of our people," she said. "To join the sisters to one husband is to keep the family strong. If you want to marry Leora, you must take me as well." Alex looked from Leora to Silara. Both sisters were strong and proud. Both wanted something important. He felt caught between two worlds, the strange traditions of Virilia and his own simple human thoughts. He took a deep breath. "I need time to understand this," he said. "This is not just about me. It is about two planets and their future." Leora smiled gently. "You will have time. But remember, the future of Virilia and Earth may depend on what you decide." The palace grew quiet again, but Alex's mind was full of questions. How could he accept a marriage so different from anything he knew? And what would happen if he said no? The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: his life would never be the same. Alex spent the night awake in his room at the palace. The walls were beautiful but cold. His mind raced with thoughts of the strange ceremony and the two sisters, Leora and Silara. How could he marry one, let alone both? And what did it really mean for him, for Earth, and for Virilia? The next morning, Alex was called to a private garden. The sun shone brightly over strange plants with leaves that shimmered like metal. Leora was waiting there, calm as ever, but Silara was with her. The younger sister's eyes were sharper than before. "Alex," Leora began softly, "I know this is hard to understand. Our customs are very different from Earth's, but you must know the truth." Alex nodded, eager to listen. Silara stepped forward. "In Virilia, families are joined not only by blood but by marriage. The sisters are bound to the same husband. It is how we keep our royal family strong and united. If one sister marries, the other must also marry. It is law, tradition, and honor." Alex frowned. "But on Earth, marriage is usually between two people, one partner. This is very different." Leora smiled gently. I know. That is why this will be difficult for you. But Virilia is different. Our people have lived with these laws for thousands of years. We believe it keeps peace and balance. Silara's voice was firm. If you refuse, you will break our family and our alliance. It will be seen as a betrayal. Our enemies will use it against us. Alex looked at both sisters. He saw strength in Leora's calm eyes and fire in Silara's. They were not just asking for marriage. They were asking him to join their lives, their politics, and their people. I need to understand more, Alex said. Not just the law, but what it means for you too. What do you both want from this? Lyra's eyes softened. I want peace between our worlds. I want to show that different people can come together and create something new. Silara's gaze was intense. I want to be seen as more than a sister in the shadows. I want respect and a place beside my sister. Alex nodded slowly. This is not just a marriage. It is a union of trust, respect, and power. The sisters looked at each other and then back at Alex. Will you take us both? Silara asked quietly. Alex sighed. The weight of the decision was heavy. I will try to learn everything. And then I will decide. But this is not just about me. It is about 2 planets and many lives. Leora stepped closer and touched his arm gently. We will help you understand. And we will face this together. Alex felt a spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he could find a way to make this strange marriage work, not just for duty, but for something deeper. The sun shone brighter over the garden, and Alex took a deep breath. The path ahead was uncertain and difficult, but he was ready to walk it. Alex sat quietly in the palace's great library, surrounded by tall shelves filled with strange books and glowing tablets. He was trying to understand Virilian culture better, but every page seemed to bring more questions. The idea of marrying 2 sisters was only the start. The customs, the language, even the way people thought was very different from Earth. Lyora and Silara often visited him there. They wanted to help Alex learn their world. Lyora was patient and gentle, explaining traditions with calm words. Silara was more direct, sometimes sharp, but always honest. Together, they showed him the beauty and complexity of their people. One day, as the 3 sat near a window overlooking the palace gardens, Alex asked, "Why is it so important for the sisters to be joined? On Earth, people choose their partners freely. We don't force families to marry like this." Leora looked out the window and said softly, "Virilia has many dangers. We have fought wars and survived threats that would destroy others. Our families are our greatest strength. By joining sisters to the same husband, we create a bond that cannot be broken. It is trust and loyalty, like a shield." Silara nodded. "But it is not easy. Many outsiders do not understand us. They think it is strange or wrong. Sometimes I feel trapped, but it is our way. It has kept our people alive." Alex thought deeply. On Earth, people often fear what is different. Some might see your laws as old or unfair. What will Earth's leaders say if they find out about this? Lyra's eyes were steady. "That is why you must be strong. You carry the hopes of 2 worlds. If you refuse, it may cause war or mistrust. If you accept, it could bring peace and a new way to live." Alex felt the pressure. He was only one man, but the future of 2 planets seemed to rest on his shoulders. "How do you live with this every day?" he asked quietly. Silara smiled sadly. "We learn to love in our own way. Sometimes it is hard, but family is everything here." As days passed, Alex began to see the sisters not just as rulers or symbols, but as real people. Leora's kindness and wisdom made him feel safe. Silara's strength and passion challenged him. Together, they taught him the meaning of unity in a new way. But not everyone in the palace was happy. Some nobles whispered behind their backs, afraid that a human could change Virilian tradition. Earth's embassy also sent messages warning Alex to be careful. One evening, while Alex walked through the palace halls, a guard stopped him. "Sir, Some are unhappy with your place here, the guard said quietly. You must be careful who you trust. Alex nodded. I understand. This is bigger than me now. He looked up at the stars through a high window. Different worlds, different rules, but one chance to make a new future. The culture clash was only beginning. Alex woke early in his room, the soft light of Aurelia's twin suns filtering through the curtains. Today, he was to meet with Lyora and Silara privately, a meeting that felt more important than any diplomatic talk he had ever attended. As he entered the royal chamber, the two sisters were waiting. Lyora's face was calm but serious. Silara's eyes held a sharp edge, as if she was ready for a battle of minds. We need to talk, Lyora said softly. There are things you must understand, things we have not told you yet. Alex sat down, listening carefully. Silara began. Our family is more complicated than you think. The demand that you marry both of us is not only tradition. It is also a political move. Alex frowned. What do you mean? Lyora leaned forward. Our family is divided. Not everyone agrees with the alliance with Earth. Some powerful nobles want to stop it. They believe humans are weak and dangerous. Silara's voice was low but firm. By joining you to both sisters, we strengthen our family. It shows unity and power. It makes it harder for our enemies to break the alliance. Alex nodded slowly. So this marriage is a symbol, a way to protect your people and your position. Lyora smiled sadly. Yes, but it is also risky. If you refuse or fail, it could mean war. The weight of her words pressed on Alex. He was no longer just a diplomat. He was a key player in a game of power and survival. But what about you two? Alex asked. Do you want this, or is it just politics? Lyora looked at Silara, then back at Alex. We want peace, and we want to protect our people. But yes, there is more. We care for you, Alex. This is not just politics for us. Silara nodded. It is strange for me too. I never thought I would want to marry a human, but you are different. You see us as people, not just royalty. Alex felt a spark of hope. Maybe this could work, not just as a political alliance, but as something real. Lyora stood and moved to the window. We need a plan. The nobles will test you. You must be prepared. Alex agreed. Then teach me. Show me how to be strong here. For the next days, the sisters shared secrets of Virilian politics, teaching Alex how to read the hidden signals in the court, how to spot allies and enemies. He learned about secret meetings, coded messages, and careful words. One night, Silara whispered, Remember, trust is rare here. But you can trust us. Alex looked at them both, realizing the path ahead would be difficult. But with Lyora and Silara by his side, he felt ready to face it. The game of power had begun, and he was in the middle. The palace was quiet as dawn broke over Virilia. Alex stood in the grand courtyard, the soft light casting long shadows on the smooth stone. Today was different. Today, he would take part in the ancient Virilian rites, tests of trust and loyalty. These were old traditions meant to bind him to the sisters and to their world. Lyora and Silara arrived, dressed in ceremonial robes that shimmered like moonlight. They looked serious but calm. These rites are important, Lyora said softly. They show that you accept us and our people. Alex nodded, feeling a mix of nervousness and determination. I want to understand. I want to be ready. The first trial was the trial of fire. Alex was led to a small circle surrounded by blue flames that did not burn but glowed with heat. He was asked to walk through the flames while holding a crystal given by Lyora. The crystal was said to protect the bearer if their heart was true. With careful steps, Alex walked through the flames. His skin felt warm but not burned. When he reached the other side, Silara smiled. You passed the first test. Your courage is real. Next was the trial of silence. Alex had to sit alone in a dark room for an hour, thinking only of peace and trust. It was harder than he expected. His mind raced with worries about the marriage, the future, and the people depending on him. When the hour ended, Leora was there. "You have learned patience," she said. "In our world, silence is power." The final trial was the trial of truth. Alex sat with both sisters, and they asked him questions about his fears, hopes, and loyalty. It was a test of honesty. Alex spoke openly, telling them about his worries of being caught between two worlds, about fear of failure, but also about his hope for peace and understanding. Leora reached out and took his hand. "Your honesty is the greatest strength." Solara nodded. "You are learning what it means to be part of Virilia." As the trials ended, Alex felt a change inside him. The sisters were not just rulers but people he could trust. They had opened a door to their world, and he had stepped through. Over the next days, the bond between the three grew. They spent time talking, learning, and sharing stories. Alex taught the sisters about Earth's simple joys: music, food, laughter. In return, they showed him the mysteries of Virilia, the stars, the ancient history, and their hopes for the future. Yet, even as trust grew, the palace remained a place of whispers and watchful eyes. Not all welcomed this union, and danger still lurked. But for now, Alex felt a new strength. The trials had tested him and helped him grow. He was no longer just a visitor. He was becoming part of something bigger. The future was still uncertain, but with Leora and Solara by his side, he was ready to face whatever came next. Alex sat quietly in his chamber, the soft hum of the palace filling the air. His thoughts were heavy. Messages from Earth had arrived, filled with warnings and demands. The news was clear. Many on his home planet did not support the alliance, or his unusual marriage to the Virelian princesses. The ambassador from Earth's embassy had been firm. "Alex, this marriage is too strange. Our people won't accept it. You must reconsider. Earth's future is at stake." Alex clenched his fists. "I understand their fears, but this is not just about me. It's about building peace." Leora and Solara sat beside him, their faces calm but worried. "Earth sees us as different," Leora said softly. "They fear what they do not know." Solara added, "Their politics are not simple. You must be strong, Alex. Your decision affects many lives." Days later, a group of Earth officials arrived at Virilia's palace. They questioned Alex sharply, doubting his loyalty. "How can you represent Earth when you marry two aliens? What message does that send?" Alex held his ground. "This marriage is a symbol of unity. If we fear difference, we fail. We must find new ways to connect." But the officials were not convinced. They pressured him to return to Earth immediately for a hearing. Alex knew refusing would cause a scandal, but accepting could end the fragile alliance. One night, Leora and Solara comforted him. "We will stand with you," Leora promised. "Together, we can face their doubts." Solara's eyes burned with determination. "Your strength is our strength." Alex looked up at the stars outside his window. Earth was far away, and its people were divided. But here, on Virilia, he had a new family, a new hope. He made a choice. He would not abandon the sisters or the alliance. He would prove that humanity could rise above fear and prejudice. The next day, Alex met with the Earth officials again. "I ask for time," he said firmly. "Time to show that this union can bring peace." The officials exchanged looks but agreed, hesitantly. Alex knew the path ahead would be harder. Earth's interference was a challenge he could not ignore. But with Leora and Solara by his side, he felt ready to fight for a future where two worlds could live as one. The palace gardens bloomed with strange, glowing flowers as Alex walked with Solara. The air was cool, and a soft breeze carried the scent of the alien plants. For the first time, Alex saw a different side of Solara, not the fierce sister who demanded marriage, but a woman with her own fears and dreams. "Why are you so determined to be part of this marriage?" Alex asked gently. I know it is tradition, but what do you really want? Solara stopped and looked at him, her green eyes softening. For a long time, I felt invisible. Everyone only sees Leora, the perfect princess, the future queen. I was always the sister in the shadow. Alex nodded. That must be hard. Solara sighed. It is, but this marriage, it gives me a chance to be more than a shadow, to have a voice and a place in our people's future. Alex thought about how much courage that took. You're not just demanding to be part of the marriage because of tradition. You want respect. You want to be seen. Solara smiled, a little shy now. Yes, and maybe I want to prove something to myself and to others. They walked in silence for a moment, the quiet broken only by the soft rustle of the leaves. Later, Leora joined them. She reached out and took Solara's hand. You have always been strong, Solara, not just because of tradition, but because of who you are. Alex watched the sisters together, feeling the deep bond between them. They were more than family. They were partners in a fight for their people's future. Leora turned to Alex. This marriage is not just about politics. It is about trust and love in our own way. We want you to understand that. Alex smiled. I'm learning. Slowly, but I am. Days passed, and the three spent more time together. They shared stories of their pasts, their hopes, and their fears. Alex taught the sisters about Earth's simple pleasures, music, storytelling, and laughter. In return, the sisters showed Alex the beauty of Virilia, the stars, the history, and their people's dreams. The palace felt less like a place of rules and more like a home. But outside the palace walls, whispers continued. Not everyone was happy with this union. Some nobles plotted, and Earth's officials watched closely. Yet, inside the palace, a new strength grew. The sisters' bond with Alex was becoming something real, a foundation for a future no one had expected. Alex looked at Solara and Leora, feeling hope. Maybe this strange, new family could change the course of history. The calm of Virilia was shattered one morning. Alarms echoed through the palace halls, and the sky darkened with the shadows of incoming ships. A rival alien faction, long jealous of Virilia's power and its new alliance with Earth, had launched a surprise attack on the capital. Alex stood with Leora and Solara on the palace balcony, watching as fighters swooped down. The air was thick with tension and fear. We must protect our people, Leora said firmly. This is not just a battle for land. It is a battle for the future of our alliance. Solara's eyes burned with determination. We cannot let them win. We fight not only for Virilia, but for the hope we have built. Alex felt his heart pound. Though a human, he had come to care deeply for these sisters and their world. What can I do? He asked. Leora looked at him with trust. Lead the Earth forces supporting us. Your people have advanced weapons and strategies we must use. Without hesitation, Alex joined the command center, coordinating with Earth's military ships now arriving to help defend the planet. His knowledge of both worlds made him a crucial link between Virilia's warriors and Earth's technology. Hours passed in a blur of battle. Explosions lit the sky, and the ground shook beneath the palace. The sisters stayed close, encouraging their people and standing strong despite the danger. In the heat of the fight, Alex saw Solara rally a group of soldiers, her voice steady and inspiring. Leora worked tirelessly, making quick decisions that saved many lives. The humans and Virilians fought side by side, their cooperation growing stronger with every moment. Alex's leadership and the sisters' courage became a symbol of unity in the chaos. Finally, after a long and fierce battle, the enemy ships retreated. The capital was scared but still standing. Cheers rose from the people, a mixture of relief and pride. Alex, Leora, and Solara stood together on the palace steps. The crisis had tested them all, but it had also shown the strength of their bond and the power of their alliance. This is only the beginning. Leora said quietly. There will be more challenges, but we will face them together. Solara smiled. We are stronger because of you, Alex. You are no longer just a visitor. You are part of Virilia. Alex looked at the two sisters, feeling a deep sense of belonging. The future was still uncertain, but now it was theirs to shape together. The battle had left scars on Virilia, but it had also sparked hope. Alex walked through the city streets, now buzzing with life and rebuilding. Humans and Virilians worked side by side, sharing stories, food, and laughter. For the first time, the two worlds felt truly connected. Alex met with Leora and Solara in a quiet garden. The air was warm, and the strange glowing flowers seemed brighter. The sisters smiled, their faces softened by relief and pride. We have shown our people that unity is possible, Leora said, but there is more to do. We must teach others that different worlds can live as one. Solara nodded. Our marriage is not just about politics anymore. It is a symbol of hope, a new way forward. Alex looked at them both. I have learned much from you. About trust, strength, and love in forms I never imagined. Leora reached out and took his hand. You have brought Earth's spirit to Virilia. Your courage has changed us. Solara smiled softly. And you have changed us too, Alex. Together, we can build a future where differences are celebrated, not feared. The three of them stood united, a living bridge between two planets. Their bond was strong, tested by trials, politics, and war. Now, it was time to share that strength with the galaxy. Alex thought about Earth, the people who had doubted him, the leaders who had questioned the alliance. He knew there would still be challenges, but he also knew that hope could grow from understanding and respect. As the sun set over Virilia, casting long shadows and golden light, Alex felt a new sense of purpose. He was no longer just a diplomat or a visitor. He was a part of something bigger, a symbol of unity. Leora smiled, her eyes reflecting the stars. We are one now. Human, Virilian, together. Solara added, and together, we will face whatever comes next. Alex nodded. The future was uncertain, but with the sisters by his side, he felt ready for anything. The story of two sisters and a human was no longer just a tale of politics or tradition. It was a story of hope, of finding family in the most unexpected places, and of building bridges between worlds. The sun rose over Virilia, painting the sky with warm colors. The palace, once filled with tension and doubt, now hummed with quiet hope. Alex stood on the balcony, looking out at the city he had come to love. Beside him stood Leora and Solara, two sisters who had become more than royalty. They were family. The journey had been long and hard. From the moment Leora chose Alex as her consort, through the challenges of tradition, politics, and war, they had faced everything together. Now, a new chapter was beginning. Leora turned to Alex, her eyes shining. You have changed more than just your own life. You have changed how our people see the future. Solara smiled softly. What we built here is stronger than any law or custom. It is a bond of respect, trust, and love. Alex took a deep breath. I never imagined I would find this, family and purpose, on another world. But now, I cannot imagine life any other way. The news of their union had spread across both planets. Many had been shocked at first. Some still whispered doubts, but more voices spoke of hope and change. Leaders began talks of deeper alliances, inspired by what Alex, Leora, and Solara had shown. A ceremony was planned, a celebration of unity not just between two people, but between two worlds. People from Earth and Virilia gathered, dressed in their finest clothes, sharing music, food, and stories. Alex stood with the sisters as they addressed the crowd. We are different, he said, but our differences make us stronger. Together, we can face any challenge. Leora added, this marriage is not the end of tradition, but its evolution. It shows that love and respect can cross any boundary. Solara smiled, her voice steady. We are proud to stand together, united by more than law, united by choice." The crowd cheered, and Alex felt a warmth in his heart. This was more than a political alliance. It was a new way of living. Later, as the stars twinkled above, Alex, Leora, and Silera sat together, feeling the quiet peace of the moment. They had faced fear, suspicion, and danger, but they had also found something rare: understanding and family. Alex looked at the sisters and smiled. "Thank you for trusting me." Leora squeezed his hand. "Thank you for being brave." Silera nodded. This is only the beginning. The future was bright. Together, they had changed the story, not just of two sisters and a human, but of two worlds learning to live as one. And under the glowing stars of Virilia, a new dawn had truly begun. Captain Mara Jensen stood at the front of the spaceship's viewing window. Outside, the stars blinked like distant diamonds against the black sky. Her heart raced with excitement. After years of training and waiting, she was finally leading a mission to explore a new star system. This was humanity's chance to meet other beings in the universe. The ship, the Horizon, moved slowly toward the biggest planet in the system. It was a strange, beautiful world covered in green forests, blue oceans, and strange glowing plants that no one had ever seen before. Scientists on Earth had called it Viridia. The moment they landed, Mara knew their mission would be more dangerous, and more important, than anyone imagined. The ship's hatch opened with a hiss. Mara stepped onto the soft, mossy ground. The air smelled fresh but different, with a faint, sweet scent. Her team followed closely, scanning the area with their devices. They found no signs of animals or people at first, only the quiet hum of the forest. Then they heard it. A soft voice, like a whisper carried on the wind. It came from deeper in the trees. Mara's heart pounded as she led the way, moving carefully but quickly. Suddenly, the forest opened into a clearing, and there she saw her, the alien queen. The queen stood tall and graceful, her skin shimmering like polished silver under the sunlight. Her eyes were large and deep, glowing with colors Mara had never seen before. Around her head, delicate patterns of light floated like a crown. The queen's presence was both beautiful and powerful, filling the space with a strange calm. Mara stepped forward and raised her hand in a peaceful greeting. The queen watched her silently. No one spoke. The silence stretched, filled only by the soft rustle of leaves. Then the queen spoke. Her voice was gentle but firm, almost like a warning. "You are forbidden to touch me, human." Mara froze for a moment. She had not expected such a strong message. She lowered her hand slowly. The words felt like a boundary, something sacred and serious. "We come in peace," Mara said softly. "We want to learn about your world." The queen nodded slightly, her eyes never leaving Mara. It was clear this meeting was only the beginning. Both knew there was much to understand, and much to be careful about. As the sun began to set, the team set up camp near the clearing. Mara could not stop thinking about the queen's words. What did she mean by forbidden? And why did it feel like a secret waiting to be discovered? The night was quiet, but Mara's mind was loud with questions. The adventure on Viridia had only just begun.